Welcome back to the Curious Canvas. We are your hosts, Jem. Sorry. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we got this. All right. Welcome back to the Curious Canvas. We are your hosts, Jem and PK, featuring Angelo today, special guest.
Hello.
So for this episode, every time I hear you talk about Kobe Bryant, you've always said Academy Award winning, and for the longest time you've been saying you gotta watch the short. You gotta watch the short, and I've always wondered why you always kept saying that. And then then I finally sat down and watched it. Bro, for 5 minutes, I don't know how 5 minutes can be have so much brilliance inside of 5 minutes. So I know you two are obviously massive basketball fans. How did that all come about?
Basketball?
The basketball.
Well, you know, where we grew up, and we're Filipino background, so we're born into loving basketball. I think if you take that back, why is because the American influence on Filipinos.
I meant like Kobe Bryant.
Oh,
like,
Kobe.
Yeah.
Okay, just talking about basketball.
Yeah.
But Kobe was from my uncle, my Tito Chito. Shout out my Tito Chito. He, in the 2000s when the Lakers were, Kobe and Shaq days, that's how I got into, I fell in love with him at that time. They were winning championships back then, and he was young. So we got to see Kobe from a young age, and then he played 20 years in the NBA, so we got to see him grow throughout from like a young, just like us, like at 17, he played at 17, 18 years old, and to grow all the way up until 36, 37. So he became from a boy to a man before our eyes, in front of all of like Los Angeles and the NBA. That's why everyone was in love with him.
What I found out while researching it, so that was for his retirement speech, was it, or his retirement at the time?
Yeah. The basketball was for his retirement.
Was he announcing it, or was he already retired?
He was already retired.
Was he already retired?
Yeah.
No. I think the basketball was. He retired. It was like his letter.
Yeah.
It was his letter to. When he's announced his retirement, and then he wrote a letter. It was first like a letter that went out, and people would just read it first, and then it became a short film later on after he had retired. Yeah.
So I'm not a basketball fan, but watching it gave me so many feels. Like, how is it for two people who love the Lakers, loves Kobe Bryant? How did you feel when you first watched it? Especially because just the visuals, like from when he's a kid to when he's an adult. How did that make you guys feel?
Just watching that short film, I think, Kobe Bryant wasn't just basketball. He was so much more than basketball. He was able to transcend just being a basketball player. He was able to make this short film win the Grammy, which not many basketball players have. No
other artist or athlete has ever done that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it's very inspiring seeing his love of basketball grow from when he was a child and just learning to let go when his body couldn't take it anymore. I think that was very inspiring. But his love for basketball is still there. Obviously before he passed away, he still had the Mamba Academy, and his love for basketball, I guess, lived through Gigi, and it's quite unfortunate when they passed away.
I thought his narrating was just perfect, by the way. Like, I know you hear a lot of people when they narrate when they're talking over a documentary or something, and sometimes it doesn't play off well. The way he was narrating it, I thought it was perfect. Especially so, I don't know if you guys noticed when I was searching it, the person that actually did the animation, he's the same person that has who's done work for The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Tarzan, just classics. So, and how it's all came together, I felt that was great. And you've always said like he was such an animation geek, I guess you could say. Plus he was into like Harry Potter as well.
Yeah, that's how he was. You could tell, and he always worked with geniuses. He was very inspired by Disney. He worked with geniuses when it came to he was about to write a book when he passed away. The writer of The Alchemist, he he showed his DMs. The writer showed his DMs showing that they were about to work on something. Kobe was like, "Hey, let's get this book going." You know,
Yeah.
he liked working with geniuses, and he always did everything at 100. With the animation, I think the whole he was very inspired to storytell, and inspire kids at a young age through storytelling, through film and animation. And you could tell, yeah, like you said, he loved Harry Potter. Him and his wife Vanessa were always prevalent at Disney World, Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like you were saying about how I felt in regards to when I saw the short,
Yeah.
or when I'd watch it for a kid. So it shows him when he was a kid, do basketball.
Mhm.
This is everything, and he showed everything that basketball meant to him at such a young age. It was just a dream, just like any other kid. Any other kid had a dream to play in the NBA and had idols. Kobe was my idol growing up.
Mhm.
I never had in my head that I was ever going to make it to the NBA, but there's a lot of kids that dream to be in the NBA, but this man did it.
Yeah.
He was a kid. He had an idol, Michael Jordan. He wanted to replicate Michael Jordan. And in every way, he basically was the closest thing to Michael Jordan and did things his own way. I like to say it as, Michael Jordan was the original and Kobe was the remix.
Yeah. No,
You know what I mean?
that's good. That's actually a good point. Yeah.
And and he made it to the league and he won 5 rings for the most franchised NBA organization, the Lakers. He lived a lot of people's dreams, a lot of kids' dreams. So, and in the animation, it shows that from when he was a kid all the way until he grew, until he couldn't do it no more. But he was good with it, and he was like, I'm what's a word? Like, he's happy and content where he was with his career, so he's ready to let it go now.
That's really brave of him too for doing that.
Yeah.
Basketball question, because this is that's probably the only, I guess, retirement segment I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Has anyone else has anyone else ever been close to doing something like that, or that's completely so different? Because an animation short and it's cartoons as well.
I'm just thinking, like Space Jam.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, you can
Space
definitely see
Jam.
that.
But nothing in that very serious,
Yeah.
serious tone or award-winning.
Yeah.
Like, no one has done that before.
Mm.
After retiring, this man did something else. Everyone thought he was just not just a genius in basketball, but like a geek, and all he could ever do was play basketball.
Yeah.
And after, everyone was questioning when Kobe Bryant retires, because he's not a fanatic. He's psychopathic when it comes to basketball. Like, eat, sleep, train, and lost a lot of friends or didn't make friends. He was just wanting to win.
Got you.
There's a lot of people in the media were questioning, what is Kobe Bryant gonna do when he retires?
Yeah.
But once he retired, you could see he was going to do so many great things. He won that Academy Award. He was writing books. He was working with, like I said, the writer of Alchemist. He had so many other business ventures. He had so much to go, and he always said, if I don't do anything more than the 20 years that I did in the NBA, if the NBA, my career in the NBA was the best thing I ever did, I kind of failed at life. That's how he looked at it.
Wow.
And he
okay.
he's one of the most successful NBA players of all time. But he was close with a lot of his family. Yeah.
What about you, Angelo? How did you feel about when you first watched it? Like, what did it give you? Was it emotional? Because I know when I was watching it, it was just, it felt brave that he's letting go of something he loves. But yes, he has different outlets that he wants to pursue at the time, but still, that's like something that's been your dream. And I love, actually, you know what? I love the way if that was his letter to say goodbye to basketball. That's the best way, because especially because how much he loves animation, and his other lanes were going out somewhere else. Like, I found that pretty cool. So yeah, sorry.
But I think it was kind of bittersweet watching that, because seeing Kobe being as great as he was, you'd want to see like your hero play forever, kind of like dominate forever. But I guess it was bittersweet seeing Kobe just like let go of basketball and um, yeah, just seeing him grow up from like being that small Kobe Bryant, just shooting those socks into that bin, to achieving what he achieved. I guess it was bittersweet just seeing him let go of something he's loved very much. And I think, yeah,
Yeah,
bittersweet. Yeah.
that's cool. It's kind of cool. Speaking about different outlets, you look at what other athletes are doing, or even other artists are doing with dipping their hands in films, or even LeBron. He recently produced Disney's Becoming. Yeah. So I saw a couple of episodes. Have you guys seen a couple of episodes?
Yeah.
I kind of found it funny that you can 100% know that he had influence on putting Anthony Davis first. First episode.
Yeah, it was like, AD, you're going first.
And just like I bet any money Disney's just like, we'd like you to produce this, and he's just like, yeah, that's cool. Anthony Davis goes first though, then we can go whoever who go next. How'd you like the first episode?
That was crazy. Yeah. What I was gonna say is, yeah, a lot of athletes and a lot of artists are, diving into different parts. They're not just becoming like, if you're an athlete, you're a basketballer.
Yeah.
But they're doing heaps of things. And I think that's great, because a lot of people, just like, we grew up. Some people were just, Filipinos. You go be a nurse.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't be just doing the one thing. We should be doing different things, because we're not meant to just be doing the one thing. We have different passions and things in life that we want to do. But yeah, that's great. About becoming, I love it. Inspirational.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
I didn't know how it was gonna be when I first when I was getting started. Yeah. When I heard about it, I was thinking like, is it just gonna be like a typical 30-minute documentary, 45 minutes, where it's like, it's possible. No, I highly recommend it. It's so inspirational. It's
because Disney, and of course it's Disney. Disney's always been about inspiring kids, having imaginations, believing and dreaming about things that you want to do one day when you grow up. And the first episode, right off the bat, kid, Anthony Davis, south side of Chicago. No, we haven't been to Chicago together, but you know how Chicago is, and they call it like nickname Chirac.
Yeah.
A lot of people rap about it, that it's hard to even make it out of that environment. But someone like Anthony Davis and they showed him as a geeky kid, and he's just gone through, had a big growth spurt, had good family around him, but he was able to get out, and he's doing what Kobe did, just living he's now in the NBA. Now he plays for the Los Angeles Lakers. But I love how they show the background story. You don't really get to see this.
Yeah.
They show his family, who was there for him. His grandpa that really influenced him when it comes to basketball. His grandpa was a Laker fan, so it made sense for him to want to be a Laker. Like his grandpa wanted him. He was like, I want you to play for the Lakers. Mm-hmm. So this move for him is a dream come true for Anthony Davis as well. And now, we're 2 games in. Hopefully by the time this gets released, we've won the finals. But yeah, it's just so inspirational. Someone from south side of Chicago. Hopefully there's one day, there'll be more things, like there's kids from Western Sydney. You see some movement out in Western Sydney now, but it is inspirational that people can get out there from from not small cities, but like towns that aren't.
Yeah, especially like ghetto areas. Like, I mean, Inglewood in Chicago, that's a pretty ghetto area. I loved how like the parents built like a basketball court in their backyard just so like they can keep his son out of the trouble. Yeah. I love that. With Anthony Davis, what about you? Have you seen the first one?
Yeah. I watched the first episode with Anthony Davis, and I thought it was quite inspiring, and also interesting, because I never really knew that side to Anthony Davis. I never really knew what made him such a great player. He's so versatile, and it was quite inspiring and interesting to see how his family really set that foundation for him. And I guess going back to Kobe, I think Kobe would have love this becoming thing because it's very inspiring for kids. And Kobe was quite he really wanted to inspire the kids, and I think he would have really enjoyed it. He would have really enjoyed this, and just seeing there are like the common theme within all of these stories, I guess, is all of these people's like relentlessness in trying to achieve what they're really passionate and their dreams, what their dreams are. And I think, yeah, it's pretty good, and I would recommend it like you guys did.
Just
So
like
yeah.
the kid from The Lion King.
Oh yeah, Caleb. Sorry.
Yeah,
Before we get to that episode, so all right, again, not a basketball fan, but
Yeah.
Anthony Davis. So he grew up looking like Steve Urkel, Steve Urkel. I don't know if you guys search him up. It's just a funny sitcom show. Okay, so when I was looking at that, and he has a monobrow. This kid has a monobrow as well. But seeing how he is from then till now, and you see how the confidence that he has still, even with that, I get my eyebrows done and everything. So I'm not even gonna hate on that, okay? But I love seeing the confidence that he has now.
Yeah.
You know.
He ran with it. Everyone, I think it was when he was in college, and then they would call him the Brow.
Yeah.
And he ran. He was like, "Oh wow, they're really enjoying this. I'm going to run with it." And he kept it. He trademarked it and everything when he went to the NBA.
Oh, actually, trademarked it. Oof.
Yeah.
So yeah. With Caleb.
Yeah.
New location, guys. So with Caleb McLaughlin. I saw that episode. I love it because he's from Stranger Things.
Yeah. I asked you if you watch Stranger Things.
100%. It's amazing, and like seeing him in it, he's definitely one of the best things in that TV show.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen it?
No, I've watched like a few episodes. Toss always tried to get me to watch it, but no, I never really got into it.
It's like if you love anything that's 80s.
Goonies.
I
used to love Goonies.
Yeah, Goonies is amazing.
I've watched that movie so many times.
The truffle stuffle. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but yeah. He knows it. I never knew he was young Simba though.
Yeah. I didn't even know who was until he came up on the episode, but just seeing it, you know how many times I say like I'm young Simba or whatever. Yeah. Like I love the Lion King. This guy like just Scar. Another one. Another one.
Kofu.
This guy has lived our dreams.
Yes.
This kid has lived our dreams. And it shows when he was performing, before the auditions and coming up, going through rehearsals and going to classes and how rigorous it was to just, but you could tell the kid, his parents were showing, he wanted to be there.
That was hard work though, because he was going to the stage 8 times a week. On top of that, he had school. It wasn't like we'll go there 3 times a week and then that's it. Performing 8 times a week. I'm like, so when you we've talked about this in the past, but when you went to New York and you watched Lion King for the first time, who knows how many times that young Simba has played that week.
We got to watch it. That week alone.
Yeah, that week alone.
Word for word, line for line, and that kid was so good.
Yeah,
man.
But that's the thing about the whole becoming. You're seeing them living their dreams, so they're living that to the fullest.
Sure, and we just see them on stage, and you're just being entertained by the arts, but you don't see the sacrifice each kid. Each kid would have to, or anyone that performs would have to do. I'm sure they would lose 2 years or 3 years of their childhood. The other Caleb was talking about, he'd be doing 6 nights, and then one time one of his friends was saying, "Oh, you think you're a big star now?
Yeah,
you can't even come to my birthday." He invited him, and he goes, "You think you're a big star now? You don't think of that kind of stuff. Like there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into becoming becoming Anthony Davis, becoming Caleb, becoming Nick Cannon. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of sacrifice, there's a lot of things that they had to do to navigate their way to become great. So, it is very inspirational, and, yeah.
I never got this till you just said it just then. When you just said, there's a lot of things you have to do to become great. Oh, that's the title.
Becoming.
Yeah, sorry, I just got it just then. I just got it just then.
Becoming,
yeah.
great or becoming who they are.
Yeah, I liked it. Did you? So those two were probably my favorites. The Caleb, because obviously, let alone Lion King and Stranger Things, as well as Anthony Davis, just because everyone loves a good sports story. You know, it could be any. It could be hockey, like Mighty. I know how Mighty Ducks isn't a real story, but it's fictional. But Mighty Ducks, I loved Mighty Ducks because it's just a sports story. Everyone likes a good sports story. Yeah. So even watching this, when you see Anthony Davis, who I don't really know anything about him, but watching it, I'm like, that's inspirational.
Yeah,
and you see that thrive and drive, it just
sure.
And what he's become now.
Yeah.
There's other ones that I've seen as well, like Nick Kroll from Big Mouth. I don't know if you guys watch that. Do you watch Big Mouth? So it's on Netflix. I haven't watched it, to be honest, but when you watch his drive of what it so he came from a very wealthy family. Yeah. This part wasn't shown on Becoming, but the background story of him, his father was in an investigation company that sold for 1.7 billion. Like, I think that sold in like 2004 or something. 2004-ish, 2006. Anyway, so but even before that, he comes from a very wealthy family. So when he was pursuing stand-up comedy, he got rejected and booed so many times. He said, like, on Becoming, over 150 times. Yeah. And I'm like, look, it's easy when you have nothing. It's hard enough when you have nothing. But when you have everything supporting you and you have so much money, like, oh, I don't need to do this. Getting a rejection when you have a lot of things going for you, I reckon that would be really hard too. So when you see him, what he's become now with having his own series on Netflix, becoming a famous stand-up comedian as well, even though with the backing of his father, but it's more from him still getting rejected. Yeah. I like that as well. Yeah. Nick Cannon was also a good one too.
Yeah, Nick Cannon. We were talking about it as well. He could have had one of those careers that sprung off really well, and then he could have just gone up face of the earth. But he really, I don't know, like reinvented himself halfway through.
Yeah, I could say that. Yeah, he did.
Created Wild 'N Out, which was that was literally a thing in his mind, an idea in his mind, and he thought this would be great, and everyone rejected it. Nobody believed in it like he did.
Yeah.
But he finally found someone that did, and that's made him even catapulted him to do bigger things, and then all the music's not him being an artist, but I know.
He had some good songs. He had good songs. Like, I mean, like he was. I mean, all right. So I don't think it would have ever hit. The only song I liked was Lil Romeo, My Cinderella.
Yeah, I don't think he was great as a musician. Yeah, they roast him on Wild 'N Out.
Oh no, he's not that great. Yeah. So when he dissed Eminem, I was like, bro, please stop. I like you so much, man. Don't do this to yourself. Career suicide.
Yeah, career suicide at all times.
But coming from definitely. I mean, you see the range what he was as a kid. Like he was helping his family produce their own TV shows at the time. Yeah. Then later on. He pursued stand-up comedy, and he did acting. Yeah, he did acting as well. Drumline.
Yeah, Drumline was classic.
That was
classic 2000s.
I thought that would catapult his career though, but it didn't. As in, as an actor, because he was such a good actor.
If you think about it, as much of a classic as it was for us watching it, it's kind of B-list. It's kind of B-list movie.
I guess so. I guess.
B-grade, sorry.
I guess it's like saying.
Like, there's so many classics that we love.
Yeah.
Like, You Got Served is a B-list movie, isn't it?
I think that's probably the dancing wise is A-list, acting wise is like.
Yeah.
Bro, we're better actors than them, bro. That's why they broke up.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Like, I get what you mean. It is a C-list movie. I guess it is it is a B-list movie. I get that. But what he's done with his career, though, with going from acting, and then he tried when Wild Out wasn't hitting. I wonder how when Wild Out wasn't hitting, he was still pursuing acting and stand up. Yeah. Till he got till that landed. Yeah. And Wild and Out. That's such a classic. That catapulted, not catapulted, but gave opportunities to Kevin Hart, Cat Williams.
You reckon Kevin Hart?
Yeah, it was. No, he was.
Was it?
He was on the first season.
No, I know he was on it, but I didn't think because of Wild and Out.
It wasn't because, but it was an opportunity. Every opportunity helps, man.
Mm.
But yeah, I wouldn't say.
I thought it was more for, what's the guy with the, he's got like a cross on his forehead. He's on that show a few times. There's a few comedians that were on social media, and he gave them an idea. I mean, he gave them an opportunity to be funny on Wild and Out. There's heaps. There's a few, right?
Those guys that used to be on Vine and stuff.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
that used to be on Vine.
Yeah.
What's that Asian guy?
Oh, Timothy Delgado.
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
YouTuber.
yeah, so
a few of those comedians, they were funny on social media, and he like brought them out. Plus, he does the whole IG model girls thing.
Oh yeah.
Gives them I don't know how he gives them an opportunity.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I followed a couple of them because of one now. Shout out to you, Claudia. Yes, no, but I kind of wish Timothy Delgado got bigger from it. He kind of like there's some comedians that just stayed on it. They were big on the show, but they didn't really go to anything else.
They never really got over.
Yeah,
thing,
which was kind of a bit sad. But I like it because it also brings other rappers and athletes to the show, and it kind of shows a side of them that we would never know.
Yeah.
While saying in the same breath of Nick Cannon, from what you're saying, from what you at the start, where you just like he could have easily fell off, you could definitely say the same thing about Bow Wow.
He did feel.
Because he did, but that was like on the same. You could say that's kind of like
Yeah.
like they're mirrored when you think about it, where it would be so easy for him to fall off at that time. Now he has Wild and Out, so that's a staple. Well, I think he's like got cancelled recently, but that's
I'm not quite sure.
yeah. But with Bow Wow though, Bow Wow had all the tools. I mean,
He had the backing of all the greats as well.
Yeah.
He's so close with all Dr. Dre. His
nephew.
he's still iconic.
He's Snoop Dogg's nephew.
I don't know if he's his actual nephew. Maybe it was. Just
Actually Snoop Dogg calls everyone nephew.
Yeah.
So
No, but like Lil Bow Wow is still iconic.
Yeah.
Lil Bow Wow. But Shad Moss.
no. I'm not here to do the Bow Wow challenge, man. But I loved Like Mike though. I know that's Bow Wow, but Lil Bow Wow. But I loved Like Mike. Like just jumping off, just piggybacking from all the basketball side. Like Mike was just a classic. There was a few basketball stars on that too, right? Like Allen Iverson, Chris Webber.
Yeah.
That was like a classic 2000s movie for me.
Yeah.
That was the peak when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When Bell was older than me, but that was classic.
Yeah.
No, Kobe wasn't in it, but yeah, Chris Webber, Vince Carter, Allen Iverson, big stars.
Has there been any other athletes that crossed over the way? I'm trying to think of any other basketball player has crossed over, like in acting.
I think Kevin Durant tried to with his this film called Thunderstruck. I'm not really quite sure, but it didn't do that well. And I mean, Shaq also. Shaq's tried to cross over into different markets like video games. Obviously, Shaq Fu didn't do so good.
Oh, Shazam?
Shazam.
I love Shazam.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. No, Shazam was amazing for me. But that's like, I guess that's like, I was a kid when I watched that. I haven't watched that as an adult yet. But yeah. Sorry, go.
Yeah. Ray Allen and Denzel. What was it called again?
When Jesus shuttles.
Yeah.
He Got Game.
He Got Game. Yeah.
He Got Game.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
By Spike Lee, I think. Yeah. But I don't know. I think LeBron obviously he's gonna be in Space Jam 2. That's on the way.
I guess you can. You said this before. You can see him in that type of light, though, right?
Yeah. He's got the. He's charismatic.
Yeah.
You ever wonder why Michael Jordan never did? Not saying Space Jam 2, but you ever wonder why Michael Jordan never pursued more acting roles?
He's not an actor.
I mean, no, but Space Jam wasn't horrible as an actor. I'm not saying there was an emotional depth in it, but like, it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
Maybe it just wasn't his. I wouldn't say a passion, but was never a thing for him.
Maybe it's not a passion for him.
Yeah, that's probably
I'm thinking like Shaq likes to entertain. Shaq's an entertainer at the same time. Michael Jordan was good at basketball and he was bigger than life as well. But Shaq is something else. Shaq can cross over to rap. He's a good rapper. He's one of those guys. LeBron can kind of do that as well. Kobe with a very serious tone. But he always
has Kobe ever played like a cameo in any movies?
Yeah. No, he's cameoed in a few shows, TV shows.
Okay.
Yeah, sitcoms. He was in the early 2000s, late 90s. Yeah.
I never knew. I just found out LeBron was a cameo in My Wife and Kids. I haven't seen that episode, but
when he was a rookie, when he was heaps young.
Oh, okay.
He cameoed in another movie. I can't really remember.
Trainwreck.
Yeah,
Trainwreck. Yeah. Apparently he shined really well in that.
Yeah.
The same as John Cena. Like I think that movie, it was good. Apparently it was really funny, but it more catapulted both of them, which is good. Like again, it's just an opportunity. Yeah. LeBron, no, I could definitely see him on that light of Space Jam. Because did you ever watch Trainwreck?
No, I haven't.
I saw clips with LeBron and John Cena, and I could see LeBron in like that wacky type of vibe, and he has that charisma as well.
Yeah, he does.
When you look at other athletes, well, not even athletes, look at rappers as well. Like Bow Wow did definitely have the tools to go somewhere with it. As in, like he did like Mike. He's done Tokyo Drift, and there was a few other. Oh, he did was it not All About the Benjamins? He played a cameo on that. But there was another movie as well. But you look at Ice Cube as well,
Ice Cube was able to cross over with Ride Along
and Barbershop, Friday. Yeah, Barbershop for me is a totally underrated film, by the way, because that shows the range of Ice Cube.
Barbershop's one of my favorite movies. Yeah. Maybe my favorite Ice Cube movie. That's a classic. Trade It All was like the theme song.
Well, when everyone always says, "Oh no, Friday," I'm like,
no.
Friday's good. Friday's good.
No. I like Next Friday.
Next Friday's good.
I love Next Friday.
Day.
Yeah, I love Next Friday. I reckon that's more of a that's more of a cultural film than Friday.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I have Spanish friends. For me, it's like that's how I get that.
Yeah. So, I would have watched that more than Friday as well, but then Chris Tucker's in. The
Friday,
original.
number one.
Man, Next Friday for me. But Barbershop's classic. Yeah. What about like Candace Parker in Becoming? Did you watch that episode?
I didn't watch that one.
No, you didn't? Yeah. I enjoyed that.
You guys both watched that though, right?
Yeah. I enjoyed that one because at the time I was still in high school when she first came out. As a rookie, she was I know the story of her. She came out and she was the Rookie of the Year and Finals MVP, not Finals. MVP of the league in the same year, and she was gonna be, she was gonna kill. That same year, she was pregnant.
Oh,
and that's like, someone does that in NBA or in a male athlete. They do the ACL. They're out for a year.
Yeah.
In girls, it's like you get pregnant.
Yeah.
Saying you're 9 months and then you're out. But yeah, and then she came back and she didn't really. But what I liked about when singing Becoming, she's also from like Chicago sort of area.
Okay.
She has 2 older brothers that she looked up to that were always playing basketball, and she was always trying to compete with them. But she was the one that made it. And it goes and shows her background story, her college coach that really inspired her. Her college coach, Pat, I forget her name, but her college coach actually passed away. And she was like a second mother to her. And then it shows that, she, and that same year, she used that and that kind of inspired her and fueled her, and she won her first championship that year, like in 2016. But I like seeing the old videotapes of AD, Candace Parker, of all them growing up and what they wanted to do. And the same as
even Nick Cannon, because Nick Cannon's dad did the same thing. Yeah. So I'm very surprised that not surprised, but like it's nice, not surprised. It's nice seeing that their family still keeps those things, because like I'm sure the sons and daughters like looking back at it.
Yep.
But like as a parent, that's like a proud moment. Like this is my like even if they didn't do anything afterwards, it's a proud moment. I think every mom or dad has that feeling.
Yeah, for sure. Except for Kobe's parents, they tried selling his shit off.
Oh, what?
Yeah, trying to make some money.
Oh, okay.
It was bad.
That's a mess. That's fucked.
And I think they did sell some of his stuff. They were able to sell some of his high school merchandise for a few thousands and thousands, just so that they could get money. And Kobe had to buy them back off those people, like even for more money, because he wanted to like safe. What do you call it? Keep safe.
Safekeeping.
Sorry, safekeeping.
Yeah.
But yeah, his parents sold them stuff. Oh, I don't know, bro.
Oh, okay.
That's so weird.
He wasn't close to.
They were, but then I think they had a falling out. His parents were never accepting of Vanessa as well. They got married at a very young age. She was like 18. He was 19, 20.
Yeah.
And they weren't accepting. They weren't at the wedding and everything. There's a photo of Kobe when he won his second championship, I think. And he's holding the championship by the bathroom. And he looks up and he's just like this with the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like this. But he shows a lot of... There's a background story behind that. It's because he's like, I won this. This is like everything to me, but my parents aren't here.
Yeah.
It's weird. But yeah, becoming. Great.
Man, that sounds so like, you know what? Like you saying, Angelo, you said Kobe would have liked this.
Mm-hmm.
Like hearing that story now, just alone, that like I get why he would love this and why he would want to connect with kids.
Yeah.
Just from that alone, like that is inspirational though. I mean, like just it's sad. Obviously, it's sad. It's obviously sad, but like I get the connection now. But even when, going back to movies with actors and athletes who've transitioned, someone else who's coming up really well, and I guess you could see this because he is following in his father's footsteps, is John Washington. You know from Denzel Washington's son.
Oh, I'm not quite.
You haven't seen it? Oh, okay. Well, he has a son. Okay. All right. Well, he's like played he's played like a role in Black Klansman with Adam Driver, the guy from with the guy from what's his name? From Star Wars. From Star Wars.
Yeah. I forgot his name.
Yeah, Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
It was Kylo Ren. Yeah. I don't know how I forgot that. But anyway, yeah, he played Kylo Ren. Anyway, so John is also in the new Christopher Nolan film Tenet.
Oh, that's Denzel Washington's.
That's Denzel Washington's son. He actually used to play for the St. Louis Rams in NFL. I'm not into NFL, but like, yeah, him bouncing between all these things. Don't get me wrong, you could tell that was always going to be in him. Denzel Washington as your father. I mean,
of course.
Yeah, I mean, like you kind of have to have some type of acting chops.
Yeah.
But it just transitioned so well between the two.
Yeah, wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, it's something that, like, yeah.
And Black Klansman was a really good film, by the way. It was really good. I watched it on a plane trip, and wow, and he's in Tenet as well, and that's crazy.
He's definitely building. Like, I mean, they're already good to ticks off the list.
Yeah.
He did a couple of other roles, but I can't. It's not off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder why Drake hasn't like? And he's. Do you ever wonder why Drake hasn't bounced to acting? Not full time
Already.
but hasn't made like a full-fledged film.
Yeah. I think he's gonna go all the way with the music up until it gets to a point where he feels he's done with it, and he's gonna transition. I think he's gonna follow in the footpath. I don't know, footsteps, but like a Jamie Foxx.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I guess.
But I think he wants to go all in the music first. But I definitely think he could cross over. I don't really remember Degrassi much, but yeah, I think he's gonna do the whole music, go all the way. Cause I don't know, who's J-Lo.
J-Lo's done a great job. J-Lo's done a good job.
Transition back. Rihanna's not that good at acting.
No, Chris Brown tried doing it.
Yeah.
But I think it was just. I don't know. I think he just tried his hand on it, but never stuck with it. DMX kind of.
DMX is good.
But,
Tupac. Oh
no, yeah, Tupac. Oh, yeah, Tupac. How could miss him?
So
Best, yeah, probably the best transition when you think about like an emotional range too.
Wow.
Like, because when you look at DMX played a lot of action roles.
Yeah.
But and to be honest, Tupac could have definitely you could see him in an action role. But he did Poetic Justice.
Range. He had range. Talent.
Above the rim.
Above the rim. Alright, what would Drake do? Like, he'd be that goofy.
You can see him like that. I mean, like you look at
goofy comedy.
You know how
I think he could do a few serious ones as well.
Yeah, I could see that. Look at
Yeah.
Look at Laugh Now Cry Later, the video clip. He was crying.
He'll do a Jamie. Oh nah. Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is talented. He's so talented.
Yeah, yeah, he's done another level.
Yeah,
He's playing. He's
talented.
gonna be playing the new Mike Tyson.
Crazy.
Do you ever wonder why? I know it's going back to falling off. Do you ever think why like Drake hasn't fell off in any type of way when it comes to drinking? Not drinking, but like scandals, like as it was Bow Wow, and
I think he has a good team around him.
yeah,
I definitely think the reason why he isn't, you know how Chris Brown kind of went
yeah,
here and there, and other people that he had beef with were going around and, but I think Drake's always had he's very. You can see the very similarities between him and LeBron. They've always had good teams around him from when they were young, and he's brought them up with him, but they've also grounded him in a way.
yeah.
So he hasn't made.
They're not like a
dumb
bunch of
moves.
yes men.
Nah, not a bunch of. Yeah, you can't have yes men in your life.
Do you guys have a favorite basketball film?
Uh,
Because like when I think about Like Mike, I mean I know Space Jam's amazing, but like Mike's pretty good. I've like replayed Like Mike so many times.
Yeah. I think my favorite one. Most people have watched this. Coach Carter. That's a really good film.
Yeah, yeah.
Really inspirational. Just like that one scene of them all studying just so they could play basketball again and saying that poem. I think that's a really inspirational like part that really resonated with me, I guess. But yeah.
I gotta say this part. Wait, so sorry. So in one of your podcasts with in Story or Moral, Pierre said a really inspirational line that's from the movie, and he said like that's the best quote of the whole movie. And for me, totally disagree. My one is when they first meet Coach Cardi, comes into the gym, and they all said line up. They're all talking, and then Coach Carter starts talking back. Oh, sorry, the Afro kid starts talking back, and then Coach Carter like leave the gymnasium, and he's just like, "What'd you say to me?" And then he's just like, "Leave, sir, the gymnasium." He just like, "Say that one more time. I will lay your ass down." And that's for me my favorite one because I said that all the time. Best line.
You'd never say to me, but.
I've never seen you on a basketball court.
Yeah. I think we could go on about basketball films all day. I think He Got Game was a really good one for me with Denzel and Ray Allen. Ray Allen used to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's a future Hall of Famer. Maybe he's future Hall of Famer. That's a good movie to me. I love Like Mike.
I think it might be for me. Oh man, it's hard for me to say Space Jam. Not just because I'm wearing the shirt, by the way, but either Space Jam or Above the Rim.
Above the Rim,
I really liked Above the Rim.
Yeah,
Like the whole
Above the
story
Rim's
was amazing.
Storyline's cool.
And like as for, like I like Tupac, but fuck, I hated him in that movie.
And
he was
that's how
so
great
good in
he
it
is.
though. And I think
Above the Rim. Yeah, Above the Rim.
And this is the reason why I think Tupac was such a good actor. So I didn't. I also got into Tupac later on in life, but I first saw him as a movie in movies was Poetic Justice. And I love that movie, like good feels type of feeling. You what?
No.
I'll watch it with my future wife. But anyway, yeah. But then when you watched Above the Rim, I just hated him.
Yeah.
And that's
He
what's
has so much more to give.
yeah. But that's what's good about certain actors.
Yeah.
Like how they can switch in like their range.
That's why I'm saying he's so talented. They've got range. They're not the same guy throughout every movie.
Mm. Well, yeah, that was. How'd you like that?
Great. It's our first time being here.
Yeah,
It's different. New location. What else? Oh, and we did this late.
This was super late. We went for a run and everything.
Yeah. So we're a bit, we'll do a morning one next time again.
But the great thing about this place, we can have obviously our own stuff here. We can have drinks here as well. Not that it's a major influencer, but still. But yeah.
Thanks for coming, my cousin, come through.
All right. Thanks, guys.
He had some different opinions with becoming. It was inspiring, and at the same time, the comparison or contrast with Kobe.
And also, like, just, I mean, and obviously because you guys are both Lakers fans as well.
Yeah. And there's AD in there, and it's produced by LeBron.
LeBron.
So everyone should go watch that.
Mhm.
Hopefully, yeah. Go
And
on.
it's not premium access you need. So
Yeah.
just
Don't need to
pay
pay
$40.
$40.
different. That's another episode. Catch on episode 10, okay?
Yeah, you can go back to episode 10 where we talk about Mulan about it.
All right, guys, that's
Oh,
the
we
Curious
can do that one.
Canvas.
We can do that one now.
Master, I don't think you quite realize what you've got here. So why don't you just ruminate whilst I illuminate the possibilities? Well, Alibaba had the